Everybody say what's up to Bobo. He's my reading companion. He will be along with me on this journey that I am documenting. All right. Thanks. Okay, cool. All right. Now, today we're going to go into my to be read that is very extensive right there. Let's get into it just a little bit. We got these right here. And there's a lot that I can pop up on the screen as well. There will be some that I can pop up right there. Now, I'm documenting my journey, and these are the first ones that I'm on. This is the Yaz series, Frank L. Baum. As in my last video, which I'm going to put up here or over there, Frank L. Baum, this is children's fantasy, and it gets into, of course, The Wizard of Oz, that we most of us know of, which is a classic American fairy tale, classic American movie. But also, that's only the first book. That's only the first book. And there's 14 that he wrote, but there's a 15th one down here that is written by, what's her name? Ruth Plumley Thompson. There are some others, but he wrote the first 14. As of today, I'm going to start and finish the Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz tonight. Just to let you know, the first one, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, then you get into The Marvelous Land of Oz, then you get into Ozma of Oz. There's so much to Oz that everybody doesn't, know about past the movie. And there's a lot that was left out in the movie, but the movie did it justice. There's a reason why it's still one of the best book to film adaptations that still holds true. What is this? This is 2025. That was 1939. That means what? That's about 85 years. 85 years ago. We pushing 100. Anywho, so yeah, these are the first ones that I'm mainly focused on because I'm locked in to Oz. Like I'm in Oz. Right? You see people the fantasy books that have the maps at the beginning. Yeah, I know where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to go back. So yeah, that's the main in my to be read. Now, if we're gonna get into the digital TBR, shout out to Emmy Rossum, Emmy Rossum, however you pronounce your name. Forgive me if I butchered it, but when I first got back, or I'm getting back into reading, and this is me documenting my journey. Of course, everybody looks for someone to inspire them. And her channel, the way she talks about reading, the way she gets into the books, she's a very fast reader. She consumes a lot of books, but of course, everybody has their own times. And if you watch her vlogs or whatever, just like any other booktuber, people is balancing reading, with your daily life. But the books she recommended are very popular. But as you can see, what you're going to see in my to be read, that I read anything. I read anything and everything because my imagination has no limits, no laws, no morals, no limitations. It's just ready for what? Expansion and creation. So that's what we're going to get into. Now, these are in the genre considered romantasy. Now, romantasy is having a pretty big boom right now, especially on TikTok. My first book that I ever read with, I guess you could say two fated lovers, if you will, was, I don't know if many would consider this a romantasy, but if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Veronica Roth, who is the author of the Divergent series, she wrote two books that I don't hear many people talk about in terms of young adult fiction. And it is called, first one is called Carve the Mark. The second one is The Fates Divide, right? And not going to give away the plot, not going to give away anything, but that's the first one where it was one of these that I see right now because I have it in Kindle, that it has, okay, this is his point of view, this is her point of view, and that's what the chapters are. And slowly but surely they're like timelines converge. I like that. Now most people would consider these chick books. I don't give a damn. I'm a man. I know who I am, and I know what I'm interested in. So As far as and another note, you're never too old to read young adult, teen fiction, romantasy. You're never anything that you think that you can't connect with. 9 times out of 10, if you just give it a chance, oh yeah, there's some part of you that can be like, oh yeah, even if you don't see yourself in it, you can still entertain your mind to the possibilities. Again, your imagination, and it puts you back in that childlike realm of no worries, no responsibilities. You're just completely, literally letting a story unfold. You see it watching Netflix series. You see it in the IMAX theater or going to the movie or whatever. You see it Hulu, all everything. Everybody likes a good story. Let's just leave it at that. All right. So the first one is now these are the first books in the series. So I'm gonna have to choose one because the digital, I'm planning on getting an e-reader as well. I've been hearing about the Kobo Libra color. I've also heard about the books Gold Color 7, I believe. They got some other ones on there, the books page, and they got the that phone one. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll have a video once I get whichever one I get. Stay tuned. And I'll have a review and an unboxing. You know, we in this journey, bruh. Or sis. Now, April L. Moon faded to the Wolf Prince, the Hunted Omegas series, right? And I'll put pictures up on the screen so y'all can see it. That one, when I read that one was pretty good. Of course, I like wolves, and we're not going to compare because this is me outside of the book. I ain't read nothing, but all I see is wolves, and it has to deal with, of course, romance, fantasy, and wolves most likely dealing with shapeshifters. But yeah, that sounded interesting to me. City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards in a House of Devils. That one I've been hearing a lot about, and that one is right up my alley. So shout out to Emmy again. That's probably gonna be a good read in the very near future. Now we got Chloe Walsh, Binding 13 in the Boys of Tommen series. Now I've been hearing a lot of girls talk about this, and of course there are a lot of trigger warnings. I know this is not a happy-go-lucky series, but it is one that you get really invested in the stories. So I am looking forward to that. The Boys of Tommen, of course, I believe it's in Ireland, and I believe it's set in 2005. And I saw, even flipping through the first few pages, I saw there's a whole dictionary. Of course, I don't know Irish, or wait, what is it, Gaelic? I've watched, if y'all ain't seen, why is it not coming? Outlander. If y'all haven't seen that, get on that. That has a lot to do. That's a good one too, which that's also in my to be read as well. Digitally though, I don't have the physical copies of anything in that series. But yeah, Chloe Walsh, Binding 13, Boys of Tommen #1. That's the first book in the series. I'm looking forward. I've seen plenty of people cry. So and I'm all for getting into anything that can have me emotionally invested. Remember, we're dealing with the imagination. We're dealing with good stories. I don't give a damn what it is. we're in there. So rank the Legacy series. Melissa K. Roerich, Roehrich, Reign of Shadows and Kings. I've heard the Legacy series. I believe the Legacy series, I was reading the intro. It's connected in the same universe as the series that is also written by her, but it still is a separate timeline. So I might start with the Legacy series, or I might go back and look for the other one. And I'm gonna probably put in here the other one. But yeah, looking forward to reading that. And yeah, those are the 4 in my digital TBR. Now, what we're going to get into right now is why you're going to see that I read a little bit of everything. All right, so we have right here, we're going to go book by book real quick. This one right here is called Nordic Gods and Heroes by Padraig Colum. Now, people who know about reading mythology, reading nonfiction, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to read it like a novel. So even though these are tales of the myths, this is not something that I'm like ready to like jump into in terms of like, I want to get to the front. I want to get to the back of it from the front to the back, because this is kind of, it's like half entertainment, but it's mostly informative. Now, if anybody knows anything about mythology, myths were what they told us as kids. You know, myths tell us why the world is the way it is. I'm very interested in Nordic mythology. Nordic mythology has a lot of presence in film and in on series and in movies, and also Vikings, of course, and myths. Again, they all tell, if you're into anything with psychology, dealing with Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud, talked about all the archetypes of the collective unconscious. Pretty much there's like not one truth, but there's one collective consciousness, if you will, that we're all not only pulling from, but we're all contributing to as well. So whether the mythology is in Ireland, the Celtic mythology, Australian or Aboriginal mythology, in Africa, in Kemet, Zulu mythology, if you got the Native Americans, the Iroquois, you know, the Algonquian, you got the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas, wherever you are in the world, whatever the mythology was, it's telling why the world is the way it is, and it has a connection to symbols, which is what? The language of the subconscious mind, which has everything to do with what we're dealing with when we read books anyway, which is what? The imagination when you were a kid. So that realm right there, these were just stories and figures back then in ancient societies, and that still hold true to today. So that one right there, I'm looking forward to dissecting that, because I've already read through this one. It's not on my to be read, but just to give you all the gist of what I was talking about in terms of nonfiction books and studying, The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. If anybody is interested in comparative mythology, that has a lot of things to do with that. And also just a quick comparison and just a quick Venn diagram, if you will. When we're reading graphic novels and comic books, that's just the mythology of the day. It's just different. Remember, back then they had those figures that those were their heroes, but at the same time they were also connected to them individually. So when you see people putting posters of their role models and Superman and Batman and all of these on their wall, that's a myth. It's literally the same exact thing. The key thing about it is, if you break it down in terms of principles and concepts, you'll understand that Batman is me, right? Or the Joker is me, the Penguin is me, right? Just talk about DC Comics, which we're going to get into. But Joseph Campbell, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, just to give you a gist as that one. And some other recommendations if you want to get into mythology as well. Mythology by David Adams Leeming. These are just comparative mythology that literally tell you that every mythological system was pretty much telling you the same exact story. Of course, in different environments, like what I said, contributing to the collective unconsciousness, not having to be in the same location. But this is not about mythology. This is about my to be read. So let's get into it even more. This one right here, Handmaid's Tale, author of The Handmaid's Tale, as you can see, Margaret Atwood. She is, yes, the author of The Handmaid's Tale. But this one, Alias Grace, that's a Netflix series that's still on there. I watched that before I got this book. Now I'm currently reading this. I'm on page 188, 189. I'm currently reading I'm reading that along with the Oz series. So this one is a very good read. This is historical fiction. So y'all get into that. I'll let y'all know. I'll review that once I finish that. Dark Places. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Gillian Flynn, she also wrote Sharp Objects. That is not, I guess you could say, it's the more popular book in the series with Amy Adams. She was in Arrival. She, Sharp Objects also has a book, so I'm gonna add that after I read this. This one is considered fiction, of course, and thriller. So just to give y'all a gist of all that I'm interested in: thrillers, historical fiction, mythology, children's fantasy, young adult books. This one right here, I haven't heard anybody talk about this series, but this was a classic series, and they did what? What Amazon did what? Repeat it after me. They did what? They canceled it. And if anybody watched the first season of the show, they will understand that that right there upset me very much. But I'm not in control of that. But good thing about it is it's based on a novel. So I haven't finished the novel yet. I haven't even actually started it. It's just in my to be read, as what we're discussing right now. But this one I've heard is like pure, like another level of science fiction. What did they say? What did they say? William Gibson's science fiction is so eerily prophetic that sometimes it seems as if he's creating the future, not just imagining it. So I'm gonna leave y'all at that. So if you want to get a little gist of what the book is, just watch the trailer of the show. Now, we're gonna get into graphic novels, aka comic books as well. Here's The Punisher, the complete collection, volume 1. There's a lot in here. I'm a big fan of The Punisher, big fan of Bernthal, who it was on Netflix. He's in Daredevil too, but specifically The Punisher show that was on Netflix. He did an excellent job. Anybody you look on YouTube, everybody would be like, yeah, he did it well. But getting into his backstory, you know, The Punisher, and all his different stories. This is the complete collection, volume 1. There's like 7 volumes in this. So that's on the to be read. And this is all, I'm going to do another video on my goals, my reading goals for the year, for the months and everything. But this is not even, I'm not even trying to finish all this by the end of the month. Not even by, well, we're going to keep pressing on because I'm just starting out my documenting this journey and get back into reading. So the speed at which we consume books is going to go up and not just trying to rush them, but I love good stories. So yeah. Here's another one, just another, The Punisher. That's 2. This one right here. So I'm gonna let y'all know right now, a lot of the books that I have, I bought, especially the comic books and graphic novels, I bought during COVID and I never read them. So there. So they're still to be finished. This one, Batman Detective Comics. That one right there. I'm very much into the Batman and Joker mythology, back and forth, their story. As y'all have probably seen in my first video that I started off this journey with, The Watchmen, classic. I haven't read it, but me, my dad, and my siblings, we went and saw the movie when it first came out. And when it first came out, we saw it in the movies, and I was the only one out of everybody that liked it. I was like, this is great. And everybody was like, man, this shit trash. And I like it to this day, and I have yet to read the graphic novel. Now, this is considered a classic, not only in comic book illustration, but also kind of like in the peripheral. One of these authors, and how the story unfolds, that kind of projected its narrative and is kind of along the same timeline that we're in right now. But yeah, that one, this one, I want to read this one as well. We also have The Joker by Brian Azzarello. This one was a little bit different, just because of the illustration style. As y'all can probably see, it doesn't look like most comics. But, you know, they're different artists, and I like The Joker, and I liked it, and I grabbed it, so we're going to read it. Also, DC Universe Rebirth, Batman, Volume 4, The War of Jokes and Riddles. So this deals with, of course, the Joker and the Riddler and Batman. Looking forward to getting into that. This one, I've read Volume 3. I got Volume 3 as well. But when I got it, this is Volume 1, The Court of Owls. Volume 3 has something to do with, Volume 3 has this, which it's Death of the Family. This, if you ask anybody, is a classic Joker story. Classic Joker and Batman back and forth. But yeah, The Court of Owls, I have not read one page of this, so I'm looking forward to reading that. These reviews will come as, of course, as I consume them. Here's another Batman Detective Comics. Just to give y'all a little bit more context, this was COVID and a lot of things were cheap and there were not a lot of people coming into the stores. And I was working as an essential worker back then. So kind of got first dibs on all the stuff once, you know, staying up to date with it. But here's another Joker one. Right there, the Joker one. This one is not sure the title. Just says the Joker 1 DC variant cover. There's plenty of different covers to it. We'll get to this when we get to it. Like I said, I like the Joker. Here's another one, Joker 2. That's all right there too. And here's Spawn. Spawn, I've never gotten into. I know they have a movie on him, but I've never gotten into him. But he has kind of the same arc, if you will, revenge, retribution as the Punisher. So I like that as well. So that's just a few of my to be read. Like I said, this is going to be an ongoing documentation journey of my reading journey. Like I said, I like good stories. So whether it's graphic novels, historical fiction, romantasy, fantasy, children's fantasy, mystery, thriller, I'm going to give y'all recommendations as to other books that I have. But these are a lot of the books that I'm going through right now. You see with the Oz series, but also these, I'm in the middle of Alias Grace. But there's also some ones that I'm going to pick up in between. Like I said, I'm looking on not only documenting this journey, but developing a consistent reading habit, because consistent reading has a lot of benefits. And of course, it does replace screen time, as we all are bombarded with information. Like as soon as you open your phone, you may not even open an app. Here's some notifications from an app. So it's always good to not just unwind, but to literally like step into your imagination, which is one of the reasons why I'm documenting this journey, just for somebody who's looking forward to doing that and is trying to do that or has done it, fell off. I'm speaking personally on that. I've gotten back into reading and okay, cool. Then right now that I've seen other people talk about their journey, it's okay to be in a reading slump. But for me, I want to consistently push through and document my journey and hopefully be an inspiration for others to just keep on reading, finding good stories, expand your imagination, open your mind to other cultures, different possibilities, have a conversation with different characters, traverse new worlds in your imagination. So that's what I'm all about. But this is my to be read, not for March, not for April. Just wanted to give y'all a sense of what I read, what's in my library. I don't have, a big bookshelf, but I do have books. So the more and more I collect, the more and more I read, go through these, y'all will know along the journey, and I'll give y'all my 2 cents on it. Until next time.